Now, this story of ours starts with a cancellation. Someone posted things on Twitter. Oh, great harm has been done. Oh, the foundation of America was quaking as a person decided to tweet on Twitter. And he disagreed with Joe Biden's choice to put a black woman on the Supreme Court of the United States. Now, again, we don't even know who he wants to put, but apparently the list of candidates is black only, all right? If you don't have the correct pedigree, if your parents didn't have sex correctly, you may be the best judge on earth. But if you happen to be Asian, gosh darn it, you won't make it on the list. So, like some people don't like this. They call it racismus. It's like, again, why can't an Asian American, Why can't a Jewish person, Biden? Why can't a Jewish person be on the Supreme Court of the United States? Why? Why you have to answer this question? But of course, he's not going to answer. No one has to answer these questions, but I will answer it for you. It's because it's progressive, that's why. It is progressive. It is equitable. It is all the things that Americans stand for. Yes, a person in America who lives in a trailer and is worried about putting food on the table, that is his main issue on why he goes to vote, is because he wants diversity, he wants inclusion, and he wants equity, and only rich Democrats and multi-billion-dollar corporations can deliver it to him. So that is the strength of America: diversity, inclusion, equity. Anyway, I need to calm down, all right? I started off with a rant early in the morning. I just had my coffee. This is what happens when I do that. I get a little agitated. So this person, right, he posts on Twitter that he doesn't agree with the decision. He doesn't formulate the words correctly. They don't flow out of his mouth in the correct way. So because of that, you have blue check marks who say, it's like, I shouldn't give this guy attention, but it is my obligation. Oh, it is my obligation to let the university know who they hired. So maybe he's like the best university professor in the world. I don't know. Like maybe he's got a gift of teaching people from one course. Like you just go to this guy's course and you don't even have to open the textbook. Like he might be the best university professor in the universe. It doesn't matter. He needs to be fired because he posted stuff on Twitter. Let's get rid of anyone that posts stuff on Twitter. Even if they might be the best man for the job. Even if they might actually be the most talented person, they are not inclusive enough. We need to have inclusivity by firing people. So, of course, the man in question immediately issued a letter of apology. Oh, he is so sorry. I am weak. I am so weak. I did not know what came over me. It was during the night that the spirit of racism just went into me. And I felt the urge to open my computer and log on Twitter. And I did the worst thing, the worst crime a human being can do. I started typing and it was like clickety-clack, clickety-clack. And it was like, all of a sudden, all the racism was flowing through the internet. Like boom, 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 boom. And all the students in the university were hurt by the internet magic that I was doing. It was like powerful voodoo crushing their spirits. And when I opened the door to the dorm, everyone was floored because of the racism that I put on Twitter. And I never felt so wrong in my life. Please forgive me. Okay, that's not exactly what he said, but if he would have said that, it would have probably been better than what he actually said. It's like, oh, I deeply apologize for some poorly drafted tweets. Yeah, like, see, when you write tweets, you need to call the academics. It needs to be like a room full of intellectuals into your house. And you need to brainstorm before you write the tweets, because otherwise you can hurt Americans. They are so weak. They open their computers and they get hurt by the letters they see on the screen. Weaklings! And the more educated you are, the more weak you become. Like when an American is born as a baby, they are strong, they are powerful, they are healthy. But then they go to school and they become weak. And they go to high school and they become weaker. And by university, oh my God, like you can destroy an American with words. You just use a power word and boom, they collapse. And this is the people we're talking about, university students, the weakest of the weak. I mean, they are so weak, just so you can understand. They want a bathroom in which to cry. Okay, not an actual bathroom, but like a space. They need an environment, the space where they can go in and they can go like, yeah! easier and more cost productive that instead of giving them a space to cry, you just take away their iPhones? I mean, think about it, right? If someone tweets offensive stuff on the Twitter and they don't manage to see it, they're not going to be emotionally damaged. Like, if you're that incapable of surviving in a modern society with iPhones and you're constantly checking Twitter and you see offensive stuff, isn't it easier to just take the Twitter from you than to control 99.9% of society? Asking for a friend. So apparently, oh, look at this, like the situation developed since I started making the video. He made multiple tweets. He repeatedly apologized. Like, he is the person walking around on the university. It's like, oh, so sorry, please. So sorry. I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. Very sorry. Extremely sorry. Oh, okay. So, yeah, apparently to the National Review, the students demanded, oh my god, like, the demands have been met. The students conquered the university, they took down the dean, and now they have demands. And one of the demands, a place to cry. Alright, I will, okay, you know, all jokes aside, let's drop the jokes. Let's talk seriously. Why is this happening? Are the students really that weak? Are they? The answer is that these students have been indoctrinated with a far leftist American ideology. Inspired from Germany, by the way, that's where it grew. You guys call it wokeness. Are you familiar with that? I mean, I don't know what other term to use, but it's really good. Critical theory, right? Like, so what does this ideology say? It says that the strong must serve the weak. That is kind of how you can frame it in a very few words, yes? So if you're strong, you need to serve the weak. It's equity. That's what it means, right? Like the strong need to give away their resources to the weak. So in a place where you have equity, you don't want to be viewed as strong, right? Because you don't want to be a servant. Who wants to be a servant? Do you want to be a servant? No. So you need to be perceived as weak. The weaker you get to be perceived, then you have an army of strong people at your beck and call. You get servants, right? So it's all about the framing. It's all about the mask that you wear. And you need to make yourself as weak as possible so that you have strong people serving you. And this is what the students are doing, right? They're pretending to be weak in order to bully this other guy. Now, what it actually does is it creates vile people. It creates duplicitous people, it creates conniving people, it creates people that aren't good at anything except manipulating and being very, very backstabbing. So imagine a corporate environment where this ideology persists, right? You have to pretend you're friends with everyone, and then when you bully your boss or you bully someone that's up for a promotion, you create a scandal, and then you have to pretend that you are weak. And that you are the one being bullied. And when you do that, the other person gets to be canceled. And then you can climb the corporate ladder. That's pretty much how this ideology works, right? It's an ideology that creates vile people. And it's being taught at the university level. Because none of these people were actually offended by what they saw on Twitter. They probably wanted this guy gone way before those tweets. But they just were looking for an opportunity. So it's like all of a sudden the opportunity arises. It's like, oh, we are weak. We are so weak. Oh, we need a place to cry. And the moment that he gets fired, it's like that scene from Star Wars. It's like unlimited power. Like literally. They're like mini Emperor Palpatines running around. Complaining that they are weak. Very weak. They just can't. And by the way, the reason they're weak is also because of them. Right? Like they're the ones that started this shit. It's like, oh yes, we need to put people on the Supreme Court based on racial heritage and genetics. And when people are laughing at it, it's like, dude, you're crazy. Like, what on earth? That's discrimination. And like, oh, we are weak. Oh, we are so weak. Oh. And you have to pay for weakness, by the way. Like, there is a parent somewhere that is gathering money to put his kid through university just to make them weak. You think you get an education? Yeah, an education in weakness. And by the way, you know, like these are the same people complaining that truckers are honking. It's like, oh, the honking, oh, weak, we are so weak. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you in the comment section. Take care.